Big up, good people. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show once more. This is no Blue Morning Show. It's something different. Just give me 1 second. I need to handle my life quickly. I do hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join in the show. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another. You could call this a transfer show on Chelsea Perspective. Without wasting much of your time, let's get into it. It's a transfer show, not a Blue Morning Show. Thank you, and I appreciate you all. Yes, people, thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show once more. I hope you're all eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue, and overall leaving the blue life. The blue life. Big up to you all. As usual, I'm gonna try and say hello to those that are already in the chat. That's how we roll here. I hope you're all doing well. First person in the chat is Brianni Rahayu, aka 343 Dilemma, aka Contender FC. You promised you were going to change your name again if you beat Brighton or so. I don't remember what condition you gave, but that's right away. We move on from that. Big up to you, big up to yourself, brother. Remember to pre-like before streamer starts so that you won't forget. Thank you so much for saying that, Rahayu. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. Already we have 21 likes. You people are up to absolute legends, which means, yeah, I think we'll get a lot of likes by the time the show ends. Quite a lot of transfer items are lined up that we have to discuss today. And my bro DJ, so he says big up Coachella. I hope you had a great weekend. I enjoyed my weekend. Just something I don't want to talk about on air here, but I'm fine. Just quickly, it's the service, the memorial service 1 year after the passing of my dad. I didn't get to travel with it for that event, and I thought I was going to be okay. But when I watched the video of how the whole thing went, it went well. But it's just it occurred to me again for the second time that I'm never going to see my dad again. So it weakened me that so much that I wasn't able to recover the whole thing. But that's fine. He lived a good life and he's a good man. So that's right away. We move on from that. We have Celestino Vietti. Big up Coachella panel and chat. Big up to you too. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. Coach, what's trending now at Chelsea FC? The managerial tussle is seemingly coming down with hopes that Poch will join. I think that's the case. It's coming down. There aren't too many, too many managers vying for that job. I think you could safely say it's only Poch right now, but I still advise you not to hold your breath on that so you don't lose your life until it is announced. Like I've always said, I've always referenced the case of Julian Nagelsmann. We all at one point thought he will definitely be Julian Nagelsmann will most definitely become the next Chelsea manager, and that did not happen. So we move on from that. What else do we have now? But big up to you, my bro Samuel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us today. Blue Evening Coach, the Blue Triple Game. I guess we're going to be calling the evening shows of Blue Evening, but we already have a name for that. Evening shows are called the Daily Chelsea Updates. We haven't done that much of it of late because, I do everything myself, and I'm still recruiting people who understands that this company is not Microsoft and are willing to help however they can. But we move on from that. Been a while, yes, PJ Artist. More importantly, I hope you're doing well. It looks like the evening shows suit you the most because I think the last time I got to interact with you was during an evening show also. But that's by the way, I hope you're doing well. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And for those of you that are watching for one reason or the other and not able to participate in the chat, you're still, you're still a valuable You're all still valuable members of this, the Chelsea Perspective community. You provide great value. Watching alone does go a long way. But if you can do us one more favor, please do take a second, drop a like on the stream. The likes will trigger the YouTube algorithm, and in turn, get it to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in this particular topic. So we move on from that, and PJ Artist responding to my suggestion that okay, depends okay on the sales on Raphinha. If we lose Pulisic or Doi, Ziyech, Raphinha is needed. Two left wing players and two right wing players, but I wouldn't take Raphinha. To me, I think it's way too one-legged for me. At least that's my observation. I could be wrong. I don't know everything, but that's, by the way. We'll move on from that. More importantly, I hope everyone is doing well. We're starting with Andre Onana. Chances are that we're looking for a goalkeeper, but there's no way to tell. But I've seen something I read online that says something to the effect of that Mauricio Pochettino, that is with the belief that he's going to become the next manager. Some people are saying he's already identified the goalkeeper he wants and then an attacking midfielder that he wants. But there's no way to tell if that's the case. But yeah, we're very vulnerable at this point. We'll suck up to everything we'll hear out there as long as it sounds believable to a considerable extent. But yeah, on Andre Onana, even without mentioning Mauricio Pochettino, we've been hearing for quite some time now. Even before we signed Mendy, he was the goalkeeper that a majority of the Chelsea fans thought was going to join us. It turned out that wasn't him. Maybe the club opted not to go for him at the point because he had a doping issue during that period. That was during his Ajax days. But I think maybe the club at this point we're looking beyond that particular issue that I just mentioned, and is considering him as a good goalkeeper. But I did dive into his statistics with compared to that of Kepa Arrizabalaga. It turns out Kepa actually has done better, even though he's considered more goals. He's done better in some critical departments when looking at a goalkeeper. But here's the thing, and eye test may be suggesting otherwise. But I think Kepa is the better choice, is a better goalkeeper of the two for me. But the only reason I'd see that will most likely lead to Kepa leaving the club is his salary. I think he may well refuse to take a wage cut. If Chelsea wants to keep him, he may refuse to take a wage cut, and that will lead the club deciding to sell him. And there's also a problem also with regards to selling him, because the buying clubs would want a player. Usually, when players switch clubs, they seek a pay increase or a pay rise, if you prefer. In Kepa's case, I don't think he'd do that. I'd be surprised if he does. But we move on from that. Andre Onana, to me, I say maybe he could be. I think I'd say he's good enough, but I think he's not better than what we have. I'm surprised we're not looking at all the options that has been mentioned in the past. Yeah, Andre Onana isn't better than those choices that we've heard the Twitter journalists and some proper journalists mention. I don't know about Onana. I don't know either. I don't think he's better than what we have. I think the club's problem with Kepa, you can say, lies with his salary. And they have a new contract format with a new construct, which I don't think some of the experienced heads in the team, who it won't be difficult for them to find suitors. I don't think they'd be willing to accept the new contract format. At least that's what I believe. We're moving from that. Raphinha could be a good signing for Chelsea. He knows the Premier League well and was linked with Chelsea before leaving for Barcelona. And if you're well acquainted with the situation, Giovanni Jafta, you can say he practically insulted us. I think he toyed around with us in the sense that we agreed the transfer fee with Leeds United, and he said no. Practically, and we held on, hoping that he changes his mind and joined us. Even Deco, who also played for Chelsea before he resigned, was prioritizing Raphinha joining Barcelona over Chelsea Football Club. To me, if we have shame, or if we have any measure of shame or any measure of pride, I'd say forget him. Honestly, after all, You can argue, actually, I think we're well loaded in that department, actually. We have lots of wingers, even a lot more than we need, if you ask me. We still have Madueke, he's a winger. Mudryk is a winger. What's his name? Pulisic, I think the club will actually, they will push to try to get him to stay. We still have Callum Hudson-Odoi who comes back, and I think the club will try to convince him to stay because he's still young. He's still just 23. There are other players, actually. So for me, Raphinha isn't the answer. He's too one-legged for me. That's how I see it. We'll move on from that. This next item, contribution here from PJ is Casado, Lavia, or Lavia. Out of the two, you'd be happy. Casado preferably, but here's the thing. Casado, it will not come cheap. If it's going to come, it will be something north of £100 million. Why do I say that? Here are two factors. First of all, Arsenal winning, if we're to believe the rumors, then Arsenal winning with a £17 million bid, and they rejected that. If you're not going to go by that of Arsenal, okay, let's go with how much we went in with around £55 million, according to the rumors at the time, and they refused it. So let's just go with Arsenal's, believing that that was the case. And they refused a £17 million bid from Arsenal, and he's renewed his contract too. So which means they'd be willing to sell, but it'd have to be something north of £17 million. And I don't think we have the luxury of spending that much money. If they do, I'd be surprised, and I'll take it. Casado is an excellent player. I think he will make us even better. Lavia is equally good. Maybe Casado being the more physical of the two players that we've just talked about. For me, I know if you've followed this channel long enough, you'd know that my preference has always been Ismail Benessa of AC Milan. But the question is the 50 million euros release clause on his new AC Milan contract, when is it going to be active? That's the thing I'm not sure. I'm not well acquainted with how the release clause of a thing works. But he's one player I like. He's not your stereotypical defensive midfielder. He's good on the ball, can create chances, can finish well on the day. And yeah, can be physical too. And his tackles, clean, very clean. That's how I see it. What else do we have in the chat here? The only change I want to see at Chelsea is a new goalkeeper. The only change, you said the new goalkeeper. It looks like you're not well acquainted with the issues we're having. Here's the thing. I want the goalkeeping department is actually the least of my concerns. Here are the areas I want the club to, to rectify, or maybe what's the term I'm looking for? Rectify. Let me just use rectify for lack of a better term. Not fortify. The word I'm using for is reinforcement. There are areas where we need reinforcement. We need a traditional DM. We don't have one at this point. Yes, Kante is capable of fulfilling that role because of his ability to read the game, be at the right place at the right time, and break up opposition play. That does go a long way. But we need a traditional DM. Kante has proven actually that he can do more. Playing maybe not too close to the final third, or playing in an advanced role, so that we can start defending further forward than to start defending only when the ball gets closer to our own third, if that makes sense. But yeah, beyond that, I also do want. I'd like the club to sign a central attacking midfielder. Since Fabregas and Juan Mata left us, we don't create too many clear-cut chances from the central areas of the pitch. Our chances, a majority of the time do come from the flanks and on the carpet, which makes us a very, very predictable. If we're able to diversify our chance creation, create more chances from the central area of the pitch, create more, a lot chances also from the flanks, on the carpet, and also in the air, then would be very unpredictable. But we haven't had anybody in the mold of Cesc Fabregas who's capable of doing that, creating clear-cut chances from the central area of the pitch, and garnering double digits in terms of chances he created at the end of the season, and assists. We haven't had that for a while now, and I think that will make a whole lot of difference for us. To me, it's just and the number 9 too. But the question now is, what sort of number 9? Because you have your stereotypical number 9s. You have you could call them hybrid number 9s, but not the type of Kai Havertz number 9 when he plays in that position. You need maybe Vlahovic maybe in. I think I have to take a look again. But we need a complete number 9. Maybe let me say in the mold of Harry Kane. That's probably will be the perfect sort of now, or even Sadio Mane, the perfect side of forward. Maybe you could also use Mane as a number 9, but not your stereotypical number 9. We want a complete number 9 capable of dropping deep, participating in the play, and creating opportunities for his teammates when he's not the one in the position, if that makes sense. But Kane, you could say, is the prime example of the sort of number 9 we should be looking for. Kane is capable of playing as 10, given his ability on the ball and his vision also, and how well he reads the game. Yes, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 30 likes already. Let's get the likes up. And please, if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, the likes do go a long way. Thank you so much for all the support. I sincerely do appreciate that. We need a striker as well. Thank you so much, Keshawn, the New York guys. I appreciate you saying that. I hope you're doing well, bro. And Willie Bless, I hope you're well. Always nice to hear from you. Big up, coach. We need a DM, a striker. Talk of goalkeepers, I wonder what happened to Mendy. I think even Mendy is capable of regaining his form and doing even better than Kepa Arrizabalaga. But I think the problem with regards to Mendy comes down to the contract issue. He hasn't renewed, and the club wants him to put pen to paper for a new long-term contract, and he refused the offer outright. To me, that showed he probably felt disrespected, felt like he's been offered something, a lot less than what he should be earning at the club. And I think he probably feels he should be on par. He should be on par with Kepa Arrizabalaga in terms of how much he earns. I think he earns nearly half of what Kepa Arrizabalaga is earning. So to me, that probably, I think it'd be. And I think that's not. Let's be honest here. He's a good goalkeeper. Senegal is number 1. Senegal is international number 1 at that. I think he feels like he's worth a lot more. And if he wants to leave, there will not be shortage of clubs vying for his signature. And probably he'd be earning more if he decides to leave. But it's up to the club. But I don't think the club will be in a rush to offer him a new contract, because he still has about, I think, a lot more than 2 years left on his contract, which means they're not going to be too concerned with to offer him something, to offer him what he's asking. So they still wait to see if he changes his mind. But I think he will most likely leave the club if he feels disrespected. And the Breach CFC, big up to you, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. Waving, we should sign a Gift Orban from Genk. Is that Genk? Is that you're talking about the Belgium side, not Gent? He's the type of player we want as a number 9. I think we're linked with a move for every good player that you can think of on the planet. But that's just the truth. We move on from that. What else do we have there? And this is a Chika Eze. Thank you, Chika. Why are you frowning? One day I don't know. I think, pardon me, I'm going to speak my dialect. Kanoya Basugi, where I really do want to know. But thank you so much for no love for Chelsea now. I see. Okay, you just move on. Okay, you have every right not to love Chelsea, but but thank you for joining. You still also do provide a value of the measure of the size of view we get by the time the show ends. I heard Perch likes Lautaro Martinez. I heard that too. Martinez is an excellent player. You could say, that can actually he can actually play as a forward for us. Essentially, actually. He's an excellent finisher, and can also drop deep, participate in the play, and help create opportunities for his teammates. I think Martinez will be a good addition to the squad. But into selling Lautaro Martinez while at the same time losing Lukaku, I don't see that happening. It takes something special to convince them to do otherwise. Big up, coach. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. So we move on from Andre Onana. This one here talks about Romeo Lavia is expected to leave Southampton this summer. Many clubs are tracking him, including Chelsea and Arsenal. Man City also really appreciates him. I think Man City, don't they have the first refusal right? They have to consider if they want him before any club will be able to purchase him. I'm not sure if that's the case. The race is open, and it's one to watch, but he is on Chelsea's list, and they are waiting for the new coach to decide whether he wants the player or not. And I heard Chelsea squad scouts were at the stadium the last time he played to watch him. This one player, I think I like him. There are other options. There is, I think, one of the options that have been mentioned quite a lot. The Spotted CP guy, what's his name again? Oh my goodness, I just went blank. But that's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream. But here I saw, we're monitoring. That is Chelsea Dodgers quoting Fabrizio Romano. It's not that there's nothing new there. I think during the last summer's transfer window, we went in with a desperate bid. I think it was 35 or so. I can't forget the exact amount. I think that was on deadline day, actually, trying to see if we could sign him, but it didn't work out. Pardon me, I need my coffee because it's still a bit weak. It will help me, stay strong and awake, actually. Otherwise, I'd sleep off. Let's see what else we have. If you're in the chat, let me know if you like Romeo Lavia. If it's a player you'd like to see at Chelsea. I don't want Raphinha at Chelsea. He is good, but he's refused to sign. Chose Barca. He should stay there, and I don't think a lot of Chelsea fans will want him either. It was, I think he toyed around with us, honestly, and it would be shameful. Honestly, you can say we don't have no shame if we actually go for him. Plus, it's not going to come for cheap. That's one thing. I think in case of Raphinha, I think it's absolute nonsense, really, because Barca, how much did they paid in total? Something close to 70 million, I think so. It will take something more to convince them to sell. Plus, they would want to, get the sizable fee from his sell to balance the books and also make some signings because I think they still have a financial a problem to some extent. He's one player I don't want at Chelsea, but we're shameless. That's a chance we'll go for him. We need a manager first, but chances are, from what we've heard, that Mauricio Pochettino himself has identified the goalkeeper he wants and central attacking midfielder that he wants also. But there's no way telling if that's the case or not until he comes through the door as the manager. If Chelsea don't want Harry Kane, then we should bring Lukaku back. I think this time he will be better. But Chelsea should at least try and get Harry Kane a perfect fit for Chelsea. You can say, given that if Poch becomes our manager. But I don't know, you're forcing me to keep repeating myself with regards to the possibility of Harry Kane coming to Chelsea. First of all, before you start talking about Harry Kane, consider the fact that he's no longer, he's not getting any younger. And the fact that he wants to leave Tottenham is because he wants to win something. Had he been younger, had he still been, let's say he's still in his early 20s, or let's say 26, 27, let's say if he's still like 27, how old is he right now? Let me just find out just quickly. Just give me a second to start. Okay, Harry Kane age. Yep, 29. So let's say if it's still 26, 27, I think he'd consider remaining at Spurs. As long as they're looking at top elite managers like we're hearing, he'd consider staying. But at 29, he doesn't have time on his side. So, and that's one factor. He doesn't have time on his side. And the other factor, the fact is this, as long as he's not leaving as a free agent, Daniel Levy has a lot to say with regards to what club he joins. Am I making sense to you right now? Beyond that also, even if he's leaving as a free agent, given that he's 29, Chelsea is unstable right now. You can say, no matter how you say it, I have hope that my club will see a different Chelsea the coming season. But am I sure that we're going to be able to win any trophies? We're not going to be playing in the Champions League, first of all. And Harry Kane hasn't won the Champions League. So he would want to join a club where he gets a chance to win the Champions League and the Premier League. And at this point, if you ask him, I'd be sure he'd tell you that he's not sure Chelsea is that club. And given his age, he wouldn't want to a club where he'd need a year or two to be certain that he's going to win something, if that makes sense. So, even though he's worked with Poch, I don't think even Poch himself would be able to convince him to come to Chelsea Football Club. So those factors, and if you follow Chelsea long enough, correct me even wrong, Levy, he opted to sell Luka Modric to Real Madrid for a lesser fee than what we were offering at the time. That's to show you. So these factors, I don't see that happening. Because Kane wouldn't want to, leave Spurs on a bad note, and then, ruin his legacy, even though he hasn't won anything. But I think they respect him quite a lot. He's done well for them. And we move on. This year says, Coach, if you were the manager of Chelsea, which number 9 would you tell Mr. Bowley to sign and why you want him? Wow. Here's the thing. On the ground, Potter, I wasn't a big fan of us going for Victor Osimhen, but considering his age, he's still 23. And I think I've looked at him even deeper. I think he's capable of being. He can become better in the sense that, given that he's still just 23, I think 23 or 24. I think if the new Chelsea manager, if it turns out that it's Mauricio Pochettino, then we're good. I think he can get him to become even better and become that, and then improve from being your stereotypical number 9 to an all-round player where he doesn't have to be, in the box with him for the ball all the time. He comes, if he doesn't see the ball, he drops deep, participates in the play, and creates a chance for whoever makes the run. I think he can become even better, and I've seen signs that he can near well be that player. Vlahovic is another number 9 I like, but there are questions. I think he may well struggle in the Premier League, but that's just how I see it. But let's leave it to the manager to select, and yeah, let's move on. What else we have? And this is my bro, the beautiful game. Suggesting people, if you haven't, please do go check out our sister channel. There we will be covering a lot of other clubs, not just Chelsea. We're still recruiting panelists, and we're getting there gradually. So please go check out the sister channel. And my bro here just shared the link. Be sure to subscribe, and we appreciate all your support on Chelsea Perspective. Please do the same for us on Soccer Perspective. Let's see what else we have next. DJ My Bro says, big up at Chelsea Perspective in the chat. So Poch is still not announced. Does not surprise me. He was heavily linked with Spurs over the weekend. Daniel Levy confident that he would choose Spurs over us. DJ, are you being factual here? Or are you making this up? It sounds like you're serious, because I know if you're joking, I know how you phrase it. But the reports out there clearly are conflicting. Some are saying that Poch practically, I think he's accepted the contract. Some are saying all that is left is for him to put pen to paper. Some are saying we will announce him as soon as this weekend. But I'm not sure. And if I were Poch, I'm not gonna go back to Spurs because I don't think he trusts Levy enough to go back to that club. But that's me. Let's see what happens. But given what you just said there, I'd say most likely, again, a lot of Chelsea fans will love that to happen so that we can look at all the managers available. Let's see. We're moving from that. We get on to this one, the blue tip again, biscuits ankles. Age is concerning. We will have him for 2 seasons. And then he will start to depreciate as soon as he's signed. Thank you for saying that. It's no different from buying a new car. The moment you drive out of the parking lot, its value starts to depreciate. But I hope I made clear sense of my opinion when I talked about how his age is a factor, given the fact he himself would want to go to a club where he gets the chance to win something in the coming season, especially the Champions League, and we don't have that. I think Bayern may well be his most viable option, given that Levy, we've heard, isn't willing to sell him to any Premier League club. We move on from that. This year, Giovanni Zapata, when last did the player score more than 20 goals for Chelsea in the Premier League? It's been a while. Have we seen 10? Actually, let's go with half of that. I think the last person to do that for us was Diego Costa, wasn't he? And have we seen 10? Anything close to 10? Correct me if I'm wrong. What's the time? What's time Abraham's total? The year he was our top scorer. Is it anything close? I think more than 10, but did he get to 20? I don't remember. I knew the beautiful game was gonna like the fact that was gonna like that update from DJ. And DJ says, not making it up, brother. Trust me. I hope it happens. So because the fact remains, I get it. Even though some will look beyond the fact that his coach, he was once Tottenham's manager or head coach, however you want to say it. I think if he comes in and struggles, I think people will turn on him quicker than they do if we have another manager as our manager. But if it's him, the slightest mishap or the slightest downturn in form, I think the fans will turn against him. And Thomas Bates, a big up to you, my bro. Always nice to see you in the chat. Before I continue, please keep dropping the likes on the stream. People will have 36 likes and we have 43 people watching. We should be doing better than that. But thank you for all your support. I appreciate that. Let's see. Harry Kane should be the top target. It's never gonna happen. I cannot stress that enough. You know it's not gonna happen. For all the factors that we've discussed, it just doesn't make sense to keep going back and forth because the same reason will still come up in my head. At least that's my opinion. I don't think it will ever happen for a multitude of reasons. We need experienced goals and a proper forward. Poch probably not enough to get him here. So you understand. Sorry I didn't read through your comment before, coming at you, but coming at you in terms of presenting my counter argument saying that he's not good. But you sounded as if it wouldn't make sense for him to be a tough target since you know that even having Pochettino probably won't be enough to lure him to Chelsea. But it's a no-brainer to try. It's not going to work. Believe me. Just remember I told you that. If it works, then I'll be surprised. Poch is ambitious. Why would he go back to Spurs? I don't think he'd go back to Spurs. I still see that as absolute nonsense. And some Poch, some Tottenham fans, you can say out of jealousy, out of the fear that the Chelsea joins us and proves that he's actually an elite manager, that his time at Spurs was hampered due to lack of proper investments in the squad. And, that thing helped him achieve what you could say he's capable of achieving. You could argue also if he had better players, the finals that he got to, he could have won at least one of them. But we move on from that. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's just them subconsciously out of jealousy, just pushing for him to come back to rejoin them. Kane desperately needs a trophy. That's one. Bringing him here just for a league or FA Cup is not enough. He'd prioritize, you could say, what's the term I'm looking for? Should I say importance or the size or let me say, I don't know what term to use now, but he prioritized the trophies he wants to win in this order: Champions League, Premier League, and then others can follow. And Chelsea will not offer him Champions League football, so it wouldn't make any sort of sense for him to join us. Our FA Cup is not enough. Are we ready to compete with or without him? Good question there. I think it's not going to work. But we should plan to do without him because it's never going to work. Jose and Conte went to Spurs. Levy has hypnotic powers. So let's see if it happens. If he can hypnotize Pochettino enough for him to say, you know what, I'm going back to Spurs. Maybe Levy has changed. Look how much has spent since I left the club. So if he can promise me that he's going to invest in the squad, then I'm going back. So never say never. Anything can happen, but I doubt that is going to happen. Let's see what else we have here. We need to sign a proper midfielder that can complement Enzo and Kante on the pitch. For me, I cannot stress long enough how much we need a central attacking midfielder in the mode of, Kevin De Bruyne. You can say maybe Cesc Fabregas capable of producing clear-cut chances from the central area. I'm going to keep repeating myself every time something similar comes up. We create chances, but you can say at least 80+% of the chances we create come from the flanks and on the carpet, which makes it very predictable. We should diversify our chance creation and also create chances from the central area. That way we can be unpredictable. But I get where you're coming from. Let's see what else we have here. Big up Kachila in the chat. Rice for 20 million. Your thoughts? Nope. I'm not going to do that. If in anything north of 70 million, north of actually 50, I'm not going to do that. Why do I say that? I get it. He can play as a central defender too. He can also play as a 6. But I'm not too sure of his ability in him finding solutions in tight spaces and all that. And I'm not too sure of his passing ability. But that's not me saying he's a bad player. But if the club ends up getting him, I think he will be are good for us. Then we can play 3-4-3 and have Enzo playing a more advanced role, not be the guy centrally. I think he'd do well for us as a defensive midfielder, but there are other aspects where you can say that's why I'm looking at a more all-rounded defensive midfielders, if that makes sense. Rice in 120 million, he is average at best. He will flop at Chelsea. Jorginho 2.0. I'm not going to get into that argument. I have my preference as which of the two players that I would want to really see at Chelsea, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. West Ham are having a laugh. 120 million. I'm not going to pay anything close to that. Lavia, it's definitely cheaper. And I don't think he has a buyer clause on his contract. And plus, if Southampton gets relegated, most likely he would want to leave. And I think that would beat down the price. But who's this? Casado never, ever, ever will come for cheap. And you know why. I've explained that before. Arsenal went in with 17 million pounds and they rejected it. And after that, he's extended he signed a new contract. I wouldn't call it an extension. It could be a much improved contract. Maybe the length remains the same. I haven't checked. But the truth remains, he's not going to come for less than anything. It will be north of 70 million pounds. So that begs the question, can we afford to spend that much money on him? And spend something close to that in finding the most suitable number 9 for the new manager. So we're not sure what's going to happen. But the truth remains right now, Chelsea are linked with every good player that you can think of on planet Earth. It's as simple as that. We move on to this here. I seen Felix Johnson saying Poch has a list of potential players he wants. Felix Johnson isn't it the guy that I vowed not to trust anymore? But I'll move on from that. Let's say Chouameni leaving Real Madrid. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. If that's the case, I strongly believe there will not be shortage of buyers vying for his signature because he's a good player. Actually, I think they're well loaded, and the older and more experienced players are still part of the squad, so that makes it difficult for them. For him to get game time consistently. Camavinga has been lucky because he's been deployed in the left back position, and he's played it quite well. So that helped him get more game time than Chouameni has gotten at Madrid. We move on from this topic. The next topic here, we have quite a lot lined up, people. But more importantly, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go along with. Let's get it up. We have 51 people watching, and we still have 41 likes. Come on, people. We should be doing better than that. And also, drop the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This says we are pleased to announce that the Thiago Silva crowd suffer banner is in the Matthew Harden lower. It's ready for its debut against Nottingham Forest. I think he deserves a banner. What a player he's been for us. You can say he's been the most influential player at Chelsea since he joined us on and off the pitch. And a prime example being when asked who has been the most, who has influenced him the most at Chelsea, Reece James said Thiago Silva. On and off the pitch, he's had conversations with him where he's told him what he needs to improve on and what he's doing well. We have other Chelsea legends that you could argue Reece James could have mentioned, and we've had the likes of what's his name, Khalid Koulibaly saying it's a pleasure playing alongside Thiago Silva, and the likes of Wesley Fofana and Benoit Bad Boy Badishila saying how nice it is to play alongside. Quite a lot to learn from him, and what an intelligent player he is overall. But we move on from that. As I really would like to see that he deserves it. He's become a Chelsea legend in just a few years. What else do we have here? I love Silva. He's my captain. I think he's actually done better whenever he has a captain band on. Whenever that's the case, it just seems as if he has extra shoulders on him. And I sincerely do appreciate that. Just give me 1 second. Let me handle something. Yeah, apologies, people. My 2-year-old woke up. I had to take him to my to his grandma. Yeah, but thank you for your patience. Let's see what else we have here. We have this saying, Coach. They must have recycled the Mount banner and turned it over. That would be disrespectful. I don't think they did something like that. I'm sure those cross of banner. Who's announcing this? Whoever those that are responsible for all the banners for saying, I think they're locals. So certainly they will have a lot of respect for Mason Mount, and I don't think they did that. But that's funny, really. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We'll have 44 likes. We should be doing better than that. Thank you so much. The likes will go a long way. And the next topic we have lined up is this. Okay. So now Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Marco Correa. Both players are facing an uncertain future at Chelsea. I think the case of Marco Correa is made up. I think his numbers show he's actually been very effective for us. But I get it at the point where we were losing a lot of games. People were finger pointing, and in most cases, they were, he was the one that was singled out and blamed for the reason for our losses. I think he's a fine player, but it's difficult to say whether the club, if we really would want to get Ian Matson to sign a new contract, which means one of either Marco Correa or Ben Chilwell would have to leave the club because, Ian Matson, I don't think will put pen to paper for a new contract if it's not sure that he gets an opportunity to play for Chelsea to play for the Chelsea first team. Except if the only thing that you could argue that you could say that will help the Chelsea to get him to put pen to paper for a new contract is the fact that what's the club he played for? Burnley. They're back in the Premier League, so you can convince him and say, since you did well with them in the Championship and you got promoted with them, just stay and enjoy yourself one more season, and then you can come back to Chelsea. And I've seen people sign for a two-year loan deal, and maybe that will be helpful. So if he continues with them in the Premier League, I think it'd be easier to convince him to put pen to paper for a new contract. Because Bally got promoted, and he still has that you could say bond with the Bally team, and wouldn't refuse, playing in the Premier League with them. Had they not been promoted, then it would be difficult to convince him to put pen to paper without sorting out, moving on one of either Marco Correa or Ben Chilwell. And it's hard to tell who moves on because the whole thing you can argue comes down to the new manager. For me, there are things I see in Marco Correa that Ben Chilwell doesn't have. For instance, Marco Correa, I know most people don't give him credit for that. He's that sort of player who's capable of finding passing lanes where you don't think one exists. So he's excellent playing on his day, excellent playing out from the back. Like I said, and he can find a passing lane like towards the other end of the pitch, and he still find that person on the carpet. He doesn't have to be on the air. But I get it, like I've explained, he's just been singled out at the point where we struggled so much. When I really don't think again he was the reason for all the issues we've had during those games. So people keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, and also please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sincerely do appreciate that. We're closing in on 11,000 subscribers, and you want to be part of that and the growth of Chelsea Perspective. So if you're in the chat, you let me know what do you think will happen. Do you think Marco Correa will move on? And this is coming from Nizakis Kinsella. A lot of people trust him, but you cannot say, yes, then one thing to pay attention to here again is the fact it says both players are facing uncertain future. I would say specifically Aubameyang is facing uncertain future, not Marco Correa really, because selling him won't be easy. Even though I think I don't think the club will sell him. So he's on a high wage. His wages are high, and I don't think, I don't think he's just accept moving on like that to take a pay cut to join any club, except if the buying club will be willing to topple his salary. And I think Marco Correa stays. Even Koulibaly stays. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but we'll see what happens. Let's see here from Economics. Hello, Bruce Kachila. How come you are buying Raphinha when we already have many Raphinhas? Madueke will be like, I think Madueke will be better than him. I see my trust. Am I to joke to you? Here's the thing. I'm going to say this quickly. I think it's all nonsense. The Raphinha rumor. I don't think we're going to buy him. And I'm going to keep saying that he's way too one-legged for me. That's how I presented my argument when I first spoke about him. I don't think it makes sense. It's a signing that doesn't make any sort of sense. Plus, the fact that he toyed around with us. But you know, Chelsea, we're shameless. That's one factor. That's one. The fans are not going to like him. That's one. Two. He's not gonna come for cheap. Barcelona paid nearly 17 million pounds for him, and chances are they would be looking to get a sizable fee from him. So they'll be looking to make a profit. And I don't think Chelsea will spend something north of 50 million on a winger. Yeah, we have too many wingers at the club right now. Even if you take away Pulisic and take away Ziyech, I think we'll still be all right. Because in most cases, the way there's a chance if we go with a back three structure, then in some cases it depends on how the attacking area for the structure, the manager situates the attacking area. In some cases, you don't even need wingers. So I don't think it makes sense. I think it's absolute nonsense. That may well be his camp, pushing the narrative to see if we're interested in signing him, since we wanted to sign him before they hijacked him. So I'd say let them keep him. Really, that's how I feel. As much as we love Silva, we should start transitioning from him as soon as possible. But unfortunately, I think we still need him. We have too many young defenders, and if he's not on the pitch, you bet your bottom dollar that we'll see a lot of struggles back there. So that leadership is needed, and that's why I'm arguing that the club will most likely keep Koulibaly. And Koulibaly hasn't actually been bad for us. He's had a few bad games here and there, but it's not performed badly consistently. So I think the club will keep him. And on his day, we've seen how good he can be for us. We need that experienced head to lead the back line. And I think whatever manager that comes in will also see it fit to keep both Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. Yeah, I get it. I think that's happening already. And I think it's starting where we have Koulibaly available. When Thiago Silva isn't available to lead the back line, then we'll see Koulibaly coming in to lead. And he does that effectively, really. Let's move on. What else do we have in the chat here? Thomas Beza says, hit the likes, people. You won't get you won't get carpal tunnel. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a medical term, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. What else do we have here? This says, I don't trust Chilwell. A lot of people don't trust Cucurella. A lot of people don't trust Chilwell. So you could say 50-50, probably. I don't know. 47 likes, people. Let's keep the likes up. Bump up. Yep. Let's keep piling the likes up. The likes do go a long way. I am good. Thank you. Okay. Nightbot is a machine, by the way. I know some of us don't know. Cucurella should not go. It's not fair how he's being treated. If you understand football quite well, he's not been perfect. He's had bad performances here and there, but he's not performed badly consistently. At the point where we're seeing a lot of defensive errors, to me, I'd blame the lack of defensive contributions from the 2-6s who played in those games. As much as they were excellent offensively, defensively, they don't do much to help protect our defense. And that's why you see Koulibaly on the pitch on occasions practically operating as a 6. You see Koulibaly moving as far as something close to the center circle, breaking up position play. And that's because we have 2 6s who are good offensively, but they don't really work together. Let me just put it that way in terms of defensive aspect of the game and protecting the defense. Those periods, if you look at the best players on those games where that has been the case, you see that our defenders rated higher than our attacking players, and in some cases, our goalkeeper got better rating than the rest of the outfield players, if that makes sense. Let's see. Big up, coach. Big up to you too, brother. Mike, bro, Glenn. Always nice to see you. Hope everybody's good on this fine Tuesday. Fine indeed. It's sunny outside in Las Vegas. Not too hot. If I wanted to go out and enjoy myself, I would have done that. We need the depth, coach. Cutting down this drastically will come back to hunt us. And I think that makes sense in the sense that had it not been for the size of the squad, at that point where we had a village of injured players or a community of injured players, that's just how I like to reference that situation. You can say we could have been worse off, honestly. But even at that, the squad still needs to be trimmed down, but not as drastic as so many people are suggesting. I think that is just people coming up with what they think the club would do, and also, listing players that they don't like or players they feel like they're the reasons why they're the reason why we're in a bad situation as we are right now. Just give me 1 second here. All right, thank you so much for your patience. I'm back again, and let's see. I need to go off camera to cough because I have cold. How long can we keep signing attacking players without signing a true number 9? It doesn't make any sort of sense. I think we'll get the number 9 at the coming season. The question is, what sort of number 9 do we need? That comes down to whoever emerges as the new long-term Chelsea manager, if that makes sense. This year, not really a fan of Raphinha. I don't think it's what we need. We don't need them. I think we're good in that department. Kachila, what 3 positions would you see CFC recruit for this summer? One, most definitely a DM, a traditional DM, a striker, and I think maybe, like we've heard, that Pochettino himself, that is, I'm not sure whether to believe that or not, is calling for the club to sign a central attacking midfielder. But let's see what the club, what they do. If you're watching, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you're having the likes to go along with. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. I will say this about Cucurella: a 60 million squad player is not going to work out. I know Chile is injured at the moment, but still, I get your point. We were desperate at the time in the club. You can say Brighton knew we were desperate, so they bumped the price up. Plus, Man City wanted him. So it was more like a bidding war. We had to beat them to sign Cucurella, and we did that. And actually, his start life at Chelsea wasn't that bad because he did well under what's his name, under Thomas Tuchel. But we move on from that. I think Cucurella is rude tonight, but no, I'm not. I think sometimes it's a machine, and I'm not too well acquainted how to program it to not saying hello to one person more than once or something. Coach, apparently Poch wants to play Kante to sit in a protector back four. I wouldn't mind doing that. I think that would mean Kante will use a lot less energy on the pitch. Because the fact is, Kante isn't a traditional 6. But you could argue he's well equipped to play as a 6, because he reads the game quite well. He has good positioning. So if he plays deep, then he doesn't need too much running to be at the right place at the right time to break up opposition play. Because Kante, even if you play Kante as a number 9, he has that tendency to be in front of our box or inside the box, or even running, sprinting down to help save the situation, help stop us from conceding goals. So if the further forward you play him, the more the running he has to do to apply himself the way he traditionally does on the pitch. That's how he plays by default. So, and I've always called for also to learn how to use him, sparingly, because he's in that category of players, very unique with the way he applies himself, very unique in his ability to read the game, very unique in the sort of tackle he puts in on his day. That even at 33, 34, 35, Kante should still be playing. We should find a way to accommodate him, just like Luka Modric, just like Thiago Silva, Toni Kroos. I think he's that level. He's that that talented. So maybe playing him deep will help solve the situation of him needing to do a lot of running to be at the right place at the right time to help stop ensure that we don't concede goals. So yeah, I've heard that too. I would take it. We bought Chilwell for 50 million. Stay work. That's Markin Neum. Always nice to see you guys in the chat. We have 52 likes already, people. Let's keep dropping the likes. The likes will go a long way. Thank you so much for all the support. We move on from that. This is Feel Better Coach. Yeah, just when you have a 2-year-old that goes to daycare, yeah, every now and then it comes back. So, yeah, but thank you, Comics. Hello to you too, Kim. So I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. I sincerely do appreciate that. I like Lewis Hall. I think Poch should build that kid up. He's a potential and very versatile. Easily benches Sherwell in the wing-back position, but not in a defensive role. In the wing-back position, which primarily the role of the wing-backs in modern football is to help overload the midfield area and also join the attack. I think you could argue Lewis Hall is actually better than all those we have had play in the left wing-back position. I think all he lacks is just experience. But with game time, I think that kid is something special. And if we try to toy around with his career, but just not giving him enough game time, he may well start to look elsewhere, I'm concerned. But we should find a way. Poch is the man. If he becomes the man, I think the list of my concerns would be the youth players. But I'm hearing that he's also asking for established signings or for experienced signings because he wants to win. He doesn't want to go through the situation he went through at Tottenham. But I think we're capable of signing him the players he wants. And the truth, it remains, even the young players we have, you can say, with a bit of experience, they'd be better than the Tottenham squad he had at his disposal at the time. Hell no to Bonfimha, flopped at Barca, and now he's crawling back to us. You can say, that's why I'm saying maybe his camp, they're just pushing the narrative to see if we rekindle our interest in the player, because we wanted them. If you recall quite well, we wanted them before Barca hijacked them. So I wouldn't take that any serious, but it's something like it's serious, but I still wouldn't take it serious. Let's see what we have here. And Panda, I haven't said hello to you. Big up. Kante can be a sitter with the proper tactics and avoid injuries. Yep. That would be another way to use him sparingly. Kante should be a sitter to spare his legs. Yep, and he will be very effective there. Let's see what else we have from Kimso here. Sell Kukurea and bring back Matson. I think one of Kukurea or what's his name, Chilwell will have to leave for Matson to agree to put pen to paper for a new contract. He's on the final year of his contract, and I think most likely the club has to, they have to let one of Kukurea or Ben Chilwell go to accommodate for Matson to even listen to agree to put pen to paper for a new contract. If that makes sense. It's not that simple, really. It's a bit complicated, but hopefully they find a solution. Joseph, C1124, coach, the player Poch is interested in is Ice. Okay, thank you. And it didn't work. I've had that experience, and I've learned to read in my mind before I read it out. So thank you very much. You've tried, it didn't work. So move on. Let's see what else I see here. Kim So says, I don't want us to help Barcelona. There's actually a chance that they're not looking to sell him. I get it. They may have found themselves in a found themselves in a very you can say precarious situation from a financial perspective. But I think they're good. They're not broke. I would not say that. And I think they will sort it out. Probably will learn from the past signings that has led to them finding themselves in that situation, if that makes sense. There's a chance that they're not looking to sell him. There's no way to tell. Keita, bring Mane, please. Mane is one player I'd like to see at Chelsea. Honestly, he's one player I'd like to see at Chelsea. But I think we have too many of that profile, that particular type of profile player. We have, you could say, although he's more physical than Kai Havertz, but they don't differ that much in terms of how they apply themselves on the pitch. But I think positioning may be better than Kai Havertz. We have Nkunku coming in. I don't think it will make sense to sign him. But the rumors are that we're serious about. The rumors are that we're close to signing him, but we're not too sure what's going to happen. But let's see if Mudryk, Nani, Nani are starting wingers next season. who will be their backup if we get rid of Ziyech, Pulisic, Sterling, Havertz, Mount, and Alba. We are setting ourselves up to fail, given the size of the squad, and if we have issues. Here's one thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say is this. I actually hate using the term backup. Why do I say that? Clubs such as Man City, they don't do backups. They have, you could say, for instance, let's just say in each position, they have 2 players capable of starting in each position, which means if player A doesn't start, player A will come in and do a good enough job, or if not an even better job. Does that make sense to you? So that's why I've always avoided using the term backup. And backup is the reason why, in most cases, in cases where I think the seasons, if you can recall quite well, when the moment Reece injured, the season is over. Ben Chilwell, the moment he got injured, the season was over for us. Same thing on both sides of the flanks of the wing backs positions. So that's why you don't go into the market trying to buy a player for the sake of that player being a backup player, which means you are resigning to, or you're accepting that if player A gets injured, when player E comes, once the moment player B comes in for player A, then you see a substandard performance, then the team isn't good enough anymore. And that's not the case with Manchester City. So we want starting players. You see how we have Mel Augusto and we have Reece James for the right wing back position. Whoever that is starting, you're confident we have quality on the pitch. Even Ben Chilwell and Marco Correa, whoever starts, you still have confidence we have quality on the pitch. So if that makes sense, that's why I dislike using the term backup, and I've preached that long enough. So I'm not gonna. I like it that we're gonna have Levi Colwill come back, and I think he's a bit reluctant to come back. He wants to be sure what the next manager does, whether they go out and pay. Let's say probably. Maybe that's just me remixing his comment a bit, but something to that effect. But to complete it for him, he wants to know whether the club will go out and go buy the likes of Josko Vadio for north of 70 million plus, which means they're not gonna. The manager isn't going to give him much attention in terms of playing time. So we need him. We need. We will have Levi Colwill. We'll have Benoit Bad Boy Badeshile, and we'll have Wesley Fofana. We have Trevor Chalobah. And we have quality. Whoever they're starting, you have confidence. Some of them you could argue are better than the other, but not to the extent where you'd say the other one is just a backup player, if that makes sense. So let's move on from that. Economic says, coach, Barca will just activate another lever. That's what I'm saying. They're not broke, really. They have lots of, what's the term, for lack of a better term, I think they have TV rights. They have lots of things, assets. They have assets they can leverage to get money and move on. But like I said, I think they will learn, and I don't think anything will happen to Barcelona. They will learn. I think it was previous spendings, buying big name players, paying out of this world salary to players and all that, which was then revealed that some of them are actually fraudulent. So I think they will learn. They're learning actually, and they're a big entity. You see players willing to take a pay cut, even 60-70% pay cut to join Barcelona. So I think they will be fine. Aubameyang wants to go to Barca, and I want him to go back, really. It hasn't worked at Chelsea, and the truth remains it wasn't down to him of being a bad player. I think at this age, he can't do lots of running, which means under the likes of Frank Lampard, who often sets up his team and expects the number 9 man to do lots of pressing from the front line. He's not the guy for you. And in some cases where actually he'd be in good positions, we haven't serviced him properly. And how many games has he played in total? I wouldn't say he failed at Chelsea. I would just say it hasn't worked out. Let's move on. I think Sterling will still be here for multitude of reasons. One, he's on a very high wage, and his salary is something that most clubs wouldn't want to pay to take him from Chelsea. Plus, he's a London boy. Wouldn't want to leave London and wouldn't want to take a pay cut to join another club. He's not any younger, if that makes sense. Nani has time to adapt. I think the physicality of the Premier League and the pace isn't an issue for him. I think the only thing that I know will come with time is his end product. I think that will improve. The more he plays, the better he gets. And let me just pre-warning to Chelsea fans. Here's one thing with Nani Madueke. As he gets, the more he matures, the less you see that flamboyant approach to football from him. The less he dribbles, the more he becomes a team player. He's not going to be, you will see him trying again, trying to take opposition players less and less and less as he ages. But overall, he'd be a better player. If that makes sense, good. We don't need backups. We need starters in all positions. Yep, that's how I like to put it. If you're not a starter player, don't come. We don't want you. We want a situation where whoever starts would still be cooking. Who is player B after these large exiters? For instance, let's go in. For the right wing back position, Melo Gusto is coming in, and Reece James isn't going anywhere. Left wing back position. If we decide to sell either Ben Chilwell or Marco Correa, Ian Maatsen stays. So we still have two quality players there. Left wing back, maybe that's where you could say maybe we need someone. If Christian Pulisic ends up leaving, which given the fact that he's not seen a lot of game time, he may well decide to leave. So we have in some places we already have lots of starting players. In the defensive area, we have lots of starting players. Midfield area, options. We have plenty of options there. Kovacic may well leave, but Kante, I think certainly they would do whatever they can to keep him. If we lose Kante, we've lost a bit of the spine of the team already by losing some players. If we lose Kante, you be rest assured the spine of the team will be completely broken. Then that's an issue. I think they would do whatever they can to keep Kante. Then we still have Andres Santos coming back in, and Casadei, as well as he's done since on loan. I think he may well come back. So in most area, we have lots of start players who are capable of starting and doing a good job. If anything, if players leave, we bring in reinforcements. But I don't want backup players really. And let's move on from that. But there's a balancing act to that. Having starters let's say at least two starters in every position, which means you have to balance game time. You have to find a way to keep them all happy. And I think Pochettino is capable of doing that. Let's see what else we have here. Hi, everyone. Chichilla, Constantin Dante. Always nice to see you, brother. But my bro from Australia, I know it's bedtime for you already. I'm surprised you're awake. But thank you for joining us. Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it bedtime already? Who else do we have here in the chat? Yep, nice to see you, brother Chelsea, all the way. Thank you for finding the time to join. Kachila, I agree with you for a change about the term backup. Competition, that should be the word used. Yep, usually we time people out if they use the term backup. During transfer windows, we don't, especially that's when we pay attention to that a lot. Is Simeone staying? If so, who? You think he's gonna get them? Let's see. But what if they want them? I think if they want them both, which I doubt, Kukurea will be part of that. I don't think he'd be part of it. But let's see what happens. Coach, remember when we let Giroud go, thinking we had adequate cover, and we did. Yeah, exactly. And that's you avoiding to use, trying the best you can not to use the term backup. But that's by the way. We'll join you soon, Coach. Just eating a Ferrero. Don't make me hungry. Don't do that to me. But big up to you. Much love. I appreciate you. Let's see. Chelsea, Dan Waters, Chelsea should sign Manuel Ugarte. I do love Ugarte. I think that was the name I was looking for. I've taken my time to pay attention how he applies himself. I think he's good. But there are other options also that are good. Perfect partnership for Enzo Fernandez. I think maybe. But let's see what happens. And Dan Waters, thank you so much. People, if you're watching, if you haven't, keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 59 likes. Let's get it to 60 and see if we can get to 100 by the time the show ends. Let's see. Santos will be getting unique minutes next season. Hopefully, more importantly, first of all, he has to get a work permit. But I guess the Brazilian FA, they're playing a part to ensuring that he has enough points to get enough game time to get the work permit. He's played on 2 occasions for the Brazilian senior national team, correct me if I'm wrong, or at least once he made a debut. I don't remember what game exactly, but hopefully he gets a work permit. I think that will go a long way. Let's see what else we have. In IPZ, my bro says he's going to join in a bit. According to Twitter leaks, we are according to Twitter, okay, we are a day, if not hours away from the Pochettino announcement. And I'm going to say this, it's quite conflicting. Lots of conflicting reports out there. Some are saying that he's most likely going back to Tottenham, which to avoid the division that's going to emerge with, again, that will be further, you can say, to avoid further division within the Chelsea fan base. If he's going to go back to Spurs and we'll look at other options that the Chelsea fans would prefer to have, no problem. But do I think Pochettino is a good manager? I'd say yes, he's a good manager. And good day to you, Real Gems. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join in the show. I'm awake on night duty for my son. Oh, good. It's a good thing. Family first, brother. But congratulations. It sounds like a newborn since you're keeping vigil. But that's, by the way, we move on. Responding to the Bluetooth game. Kachila, I have never timed anyone out. No, I'm not saying you did. I think sometimes sometimes we see reasons to do that because we like to keep it civil in the chat. Everybody's opinion matters, but we don't take it when you start when anybody starts throwing an insult at anybody. And I know you don't do that. Let's see what else we have here. Big up Kachila, everybody in the free seats. Chimera, always nice to see you, big up brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, beautiful. Try it today. Spicy. Yep, lots of spice in it. And I think, but you will like it. Hi, Glenn. Okay, just having a conversation there. Who else do we have here? And this is Chelsea TPS. Poch, great manager. Done lots with Tottenham. Even though and you can say an ill-equipped squad, maybe. Daniel Levy doesn't invest much on his squad. Yes, flat tire. Just joking with Kachila. Just go away. Tonight's main course is a real slapping City. And for dessert, Real. You mean Real Madrid's slapping City for dessert? The Poch announcement, maybe. I think it's going to happen. But here's the thing. I don't think Real will overcome City. I think City will progress to the next phase. At least that's how I see it. But let's see what happens. Maybe. Yeah, indeed, maybe. Let's see. Constantin Dante and Chelsea TPS says to just sub to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Welcome to the community. Feel free, express yourself. But please just keep it civil. That's all we ask of you in the community. And my bro, Bobby, says be with you in about 30 minutes. Okay, take all the time you need. I think I'll still be here. Let's see. We're waiting to see if the club announces Pochettino. So this is more like a video. So we'll be here for a while. This is mind games of fans. Fans know we need a coach so bad. They will beg for Poch. The longer we wait, I use that tactic when I'm interrogating prisoners. What can we not hear here? Okay, oh my gosh. But what do you think about Lukaku maybe getting another chance at Chelsea if he wants it? Here's the thing. Lukaku is not made it. Again, it's no secret that he said it severally and openly that he wants to remain at Inter Milan, but the truth remains Inter don't want him to stay. And we're stuck with him. He comes back before anything that happens. He comes back, then it's up to the new manager to decide if he can work with him, if he can get the best out of him. But getting the best out of Lukaku simply means us becoming a counter-attacking team because he's not the most gifted in terms of him dropping deep and participating in the play. And I think that's the sort of number nines that Mauricio Pochettino likes to play with. Except if he comes back and becomes part of the squad, and if we play against opponents where we need a very strong number 9, a bulky number 9, if you prefer, for lack of a better term, and I don't want to sound like I'm body shaming anybody. If we need a number 9 that can pull your position defense, maybe he's the guy. But he's not going to be a starter. I think Mauricio Pochettino prefers a different sort of a different breed of striker than Lukaku. Lukaku isn't his, you could say, he's a perfect type of striker. Mane, I think he did play Mane. I don't know if he played Mane on the flanks at Southampton. But no, Lukaku isn't anything close to Mauricio Pochettino's type of striker. But do I think he's capable of, finding a solution to having Lukaku in the team and getting him to start fighting on all cylinders? I think that's the case. There's a possibility, but we're stuck. But if the club, if they look at it, because Lukaku's wage is on 300 and something per week, he's the highest paid. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which means that would be a problem. So the club may well be better off moving him on, saying, okay, you know what, let's stop. We want to terminate your contract. I think that's a chance we save a lot long term by saying, let's have a conversation. This is how much we want to pay you, but we want to terminate your contract. That may well be the safer option for the club, but we don't know. We'll find out. But more importantly, he comes back. Inter don't want him. I think they've indirectly made it clear that they don't want him anymore, and they don't want to buy him. Buying him, which means simply means we don't owe them that much any longer, and they wouldn't want to do that. And last season, actually, I think we still owe them something around something north of £60 million last season. That may well have come down right now, given that he stayed on loan. He continued on loan with them. But thank you for that. Let's see what else we have here. Anything more here? My mom thinks we should keep Lampard. I'm not sure. Maybe she trusts him because he's a legend. I don't do business, bro. In my order that next time I'm out. Okay, give it a shot, bro. I think you'll like it. We're talking about the Ferrero soup and rice. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. People will have 64 likes. Let's get the likes up and shoot over 100 as soon as possible. Hopefully, by the time the other panelists will have the time to join me, I'm not already thinking of ending the show because I'm a human being. We can't stream for 10 hours. Let's see what else we have here. It's delicious but pricey. It's delicious, spicy, and pricey. Let me remix that a bit for you. But you have to give it a shot. I think you'd like it. We're going to have a lot of talk about in off season at least because so many comings and goings. Yeah, we have lots to talk about. We're going to talk about we're going to do I think at least 2-3 keep for sale shows because I think it will take us about 3-4 shows maybe or 3 at least because we do analyze situations before deciding what we think the club would do with the player. We don't just jump to conclusions. And that's one thing I enjoyed the most about our panelists here. Let's see. Aubameyang could do well on the pitch. I think that ship has already sailed. And the fact he's openly saying how he wants to go to Barca doesn't help. Lots of factors. At one point, the club wanted him to join LAFC and, was willing to be paying to foot his salary also. That showed you they literally were pushing him out. So I don't think he stays, and I think he's gotten that message also. The handwriting is bold on the wall, so big that he couldn't miss it. He knows. That's why he's openly saying, even though I'm quite sure he knew he was being recorded when he said he'd like to go back to Barcelona. So we move on from that. And like I said, I wouldn't blame him for how things has gone for him at Chelsea. I think it wasn't down to him being a bad player, and I don't think it's a bad player. And this one here, Chelsea have sounded out at Atletico Madrid over ways to keep João Felix permanently. After a series of calls, Atletico continues to demand £88 million, which is around 100 million euros for the Portuguese superstar, but are open to another loan deal at a cost of about 16 million. Chelsea have also expressed their desire to reduce Felix's asking price through swap deals. And the fact that they won our players, I think maybe I'm not going to start mentioning players because I don't want to start alienating some people in the community. If Mount, let me just say, if Mount is bent on leaving, maybe add him to the list. I don't know, rather than lose him on the free because he's a good player. That's how I see it. But that's by the way. Yeah, João Felix. Do I think he's a signing that we need? It's really difficult to say. I don't know what to make of that. If you could say, if we're saying that we're looking for, a traditional number 10, I wouldn't say he's a traditional number 10. He's played mainly as a force, as a hybrid striker or as a second striker. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's a signing that I still argue anytime you ask me. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. But I want to get your thought. If the club wants him, he's a good player overall. If we can accommodate him, keep him happy, and keep whatever player, again, all the players that will be vying for places with them happy, and then let's get them. Who am I to blow against the wind? I'm nobody really. We need some cement blocks for our new stadium. No, maybe we should give Rom another chance. Oh my goodness. He may well get the chance, but economically, it's one. If the club decides to keep him, I don't think he makes business sense. He's on 350 plus per week, so that may well be one of the major reasons the club would decide. You know what? This isn't working. We ought to move this guy on. Just give me 1 second. Let me share something in the chat here. Yeah, the Lukaku case. Yeah, it's a complicated situation, and I don't think I don't think he stays. I think the club could decide to move him on. Okay, let's see. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, I'm going to share the link, the membership link. If you want to become a member, you go ahead. If you cannot, that's fine. It costs just $2.99 to become a member. If you cannot afford it, don't worry. You're still a valuable member of the community, and your opinions do matter to us. But if you do, it helps us do something we do every month. We call it Project Stay in School, where we do a giveaway, cash giveaway for students to help support them. Yeah. We'll move on from that. The message is pinned at the very top, and this says, well, we need, yeah, I've read that one, this one here. Let's see, I reckon they opt for another loan. Inter Milan, yeah, okay, with regards to João Felix, possibly. I think that will help reduce everything. We don't need Felix. I really hope we don't pay that ridiculous amount for him. And as you can see, the club aren't willing to pay that much. They're trying to see if they can negotiate a lower fee, or maybe, sweeten the deal with some of our players, some of our most likely outgoing players, to make it easier. Swapping João Felix for Alba and Cucurella is a serious chess move for Simeone. He's not asking for that. I think probably us suggesting maybe if they want a certain players from our end, we're willing to let those players go to keep João Felix. He's not done much at Atletico Madrid. Now, not too much here either, except dribbling and then walk. Wow. Some argument right there. João Felix is not a good fit for the Premier League. That's your argument. I pinned the link to the, again, if you want to become a member, the link is pinned at the very top. If you cannot afford it, that's fine. You're still a valuable member of the community. Lukaku redemption, excuse me, starts with an apology video to Chelsea. For me, I accept apology in goals. That's my preferred form of apology. His words don't mean anything to me right now. João Felix is worth every penny. I think so too. But is it worth it signing him right now for how much? Coach, don't we have enough Lukaku elephants in the room? Yeah, like I know where you're going to. That's hilarious. But Lukaku is, yeah, in fact, the elephant in the room. There's hardly any conversation of that, any Chelsea conversation that goes, at a considerable length without Lukaku being mentioned. That's where we're at right now, unfortunately. What's up, Coach? What's up to you too, Chelsea Blue? We are at the point of the season. Transfers are all over. I hope Chelsea fans don't overreact. I think the club will not be signing too many players. I think at most, 3 players. Just remember, I told you that we don't have the luxury to spend that much money either. Some of the players we've been mentioning, with a move to Chelsea, I think some of them we're probably not. We're probably not looking at them. We've spent so much. The club's priority includes balancing the books and signing at least making some strategic signings to make sure the team is balanced and capable of doing well the coming season. We move on from that. I kid you not that there exists an elephant with a better first touch. It's ironic. I don't, that's coming from a Belgian bro. I don't think we should even try to keep Lukaku, and I don't think the club will. He's a baggage that they need to drop at some point. His salary, it's a huge issue. We move on from that topic, people. Where 68 likes, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. IBZ, big up, bro, and welcome to the panel. I don't know if there's anything we've talked about. You listen to us talk about it. You want to talk about? Or do you want to start with the João Felix topic here? Up to you. That is if you're there. So I will wait for you to see what you decide.
Big up.
Big up to you too, bro.
Big up. Yeah. What's going on with João Felix?
It says here Chelsea have sounded out Atletico Madrid over ways to keep João Felix permanently. And then it says that after a series of calls, Atletico continued to demand £88 million, which is around 100 million euros for him, but are open to another loan deal at a cost of about 16 million for the whole season. Chelsea have also expressed their desire to reduce Felix's asking price through swap deals. What do you make of it? What do you want the club to do? Do you think we should actually go for him? Do you think we should forget about him and move on? Your thoughts?
Well, so it's a hard one there because we're talking about a player that is on loan and it will cost him to bring him to the bridge. We're also talking about a player that may accommodate the position of another incoming player who I have expressed concerns over getting it over the line. It will all depend on the incoming coach. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. Rhymes, right? I love that. Speed, brother, speed.
No, but in all seriousness, yeah, I think it depends on the incoming coach and how he outlines. But at the end of the day, João Felix ain't a player that is our own, and his loan will end and he'll go back to his club. If we really want him, then we'll have to fork out another set of money, which will add to the expenditure that we've been doing over the past 6 months. So it's a tough one, if the rumors are to be right, that or if it's true, which obviously people will slate me for it, but if Nkunku is coming, then I don't understand how João Felix is also then employed.
Because they don't differ that much.
No, they don't. It depends on the outgoings. I don't know. It's very, very hard with this one. It could happen, but I personally, I don't see it happening. I don't see it. I think it'll be a lot of money. Plus, if you're talking about getting a new goalkeeper, talking about getting a new striker, if or Lukaku is not coming, you're talking about, a lot of money. And it will be interesting to see if that plays out. But I personally don't think so. I think it'll just be too much of a reach outside our realms to go get the player.
Yeah, let me get what we have in the chat. I'll bring in Kishan to get his thoughts before we move on. Here we have, I've read that one. And smash the like button, people. Hit subscribe and let us reach a wider audience. And if you are interested, you can become a member for only $2.99 a month. And we have a members-only show every Wednesday. Last month, we didn't earn up to The members didn't earn us up to it's $50, but we still did $100 giveaway for students, which was won by Natalia Robostio, who I've advised to reach out to me via Twitter or Instagram so that we can find a way to send him his money. Even Kim so that won the $50 that I promised if we beat what's his name, the team. The last thing would be that he so I would do a giveaway. We did that and he won it. So yeah, if you're interested, in order to support the student programs, the Stay in School project. Thank you for saying that. We don't have European football. A lot less games. We needed to balance the books, get rid of so many players. FFP. So that's also one of the reasons why I think it's going to be difficult for us to be paying that much money for Japanese. Maybe a loan. Maybe the club will be willing to do that. And Emmanuel Adinho says Lukaku has eaten so much of pounded yam in Italy. I don't think he can still play well for Chelsea. And I don't like the fact that Inter president was up in public insulting him, referencing his weight. I don't think that's okay. Francis Winters, a big up. Yes, yeah, like the button, people. Keep clicking on the like button, people. We needed to get it to 70 and shoot for 100 as soon as possible. Big up Francis Winters. I don't know. I was trying to remix your comment to make it make sense, and it became a tongue twister for me. It's gonna be one game a week next season, but at one point that would change. Remember the cup games and all that. Poch cannot throw away wins like Lampard. It's doing none of these clueless and lack of tactical comprehension. We can win the league next season. That's something positive. I hope we can. The Blue Tiff game says 88 million to 120 million pounds centre forward plus goalkeeper. That's a lot of dosh catch. Dosh coach. I think you could say that. I don't think we'll be spending that much money. We need to balance the book. You can say more than 50% of what we'll be doing in the summer will be to sell, make money, balance the books, and then make some key signings here and there. I think that will go a long way. And here we go. We spent more and wasted it on worst players. When you say what worst players, I want to know the players you're calling worst players. I think we signed some good players. It would take time, but that's fine. Big up, coach, my brother. Bottom Ballers, Bottom Ballers TV, BBTV. If you're not subscribed to Bottom Ballers TV, you don't know what you're missing. Please go subscribe to him. We don't have too much time because we'll have to end early to go watch the Champions League game. It's going to be an epic one, but we still have more than 30 minutes to go. So please go check out Bottom Ballers. Click the three dots to his name. Go to channel. Please subscribe. He should have at least 20,000 subscribers right now, but I think he has other priorities. He doesn't produce that many content, but the ones he has, you don't want to miss them. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. And John Hand, big up to you, brother. 70 likes as I just press the like button. Thank you very, very much, John Hand. Always nice to see you. Keep dropping the likes on the channel, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go a long way. People should stop talking about Lukaku's weight and concentrate on themselves. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's okay from the Inter president. I think that's a way of pushing him out of Inter. It was clear they didn't want him. Also, Keshawn, my bro, your thoughts on anything you've heard us talk about that you want to talk about, or do you want to start with the Felix talk? Up to you.
Big up, everyone.
Big up to you too, brother.
Yeah, I'll start with the Felix talk. There's no way I'm paying 80 mil for João Felix. Like that's crazy to me. Like especially having Kunkun coming in and like things of that nature. I would keep for another loan spell, honestly. Or maybe if they like take Pulisic and maybe like Pulisic and maybe 50 mil, I guess.
Do you think? I don't think Pulisic is what's his name? I don't think Pulisic is what's his name? Diego Simone's type of player. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, but yeah, if it's not like going for that, then as far as Felix, I'm good on that. Like 80 mil for him, nah.
Yeah, let's see. I think 80 million would be quite a lot, and I'm glad that the club, as you can see on the screen, that they are have also expressed their desire to reduce the Felix asking price. I don't think we'll be paying anything close to what they're asking. And yeah, I don't think people should be doing that. That's not okay. John Hunt says, please like and share this out to all your social media sites, Facebook. Let's go crazy with the likes. Thank you so much, John Hunt, for saying that. I appreciate that coming from you, brother. All our players should have to watch the Champions League game together, understand what it takes to get back out there. Wow. Some argument. Bobby, I'm going to come to you right away. Big up, bro. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Sincerely do appreciate that. Always nice to have you on the panel. What you make of the Felix rumors from Nizar Kinsala reporting that, yeah, we want to keep him on a permanent. To me, I think it's going to be very difficult. But let's see. I think we're not willing to pay the asking price. We're seeing to see if they can reduce that. But they're willing to let him keep him on loan for 16 million pounds per season. But your thoughts, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I think this summer, unlike last summer, a lot of whatever deals we're going to do in terms of incomings will be getting done now because we are able to do it. Remember, this time last year, we were unable to even negotiate. And then even as far as some outgoings, the processes would have begun now. Aubameyang, I don't know why you say he's not a bad player. I think he's a horrible player. You know, his attitude stinks, his ability stinks, and the sooner we see the back of him, the better. I know that Ziyech is almost on his way to PSG. I'm not sure what's happening with Pulisic. That might depend on whether we're able to bring in Raphinha. And Kunku's done. He's coming.
Do you want Raphinha?
Coming. Well, you know, he's not a bad player, and he's experienced. He's certainly more experienced than what we've got, which is Noni. You know, Noni is a young player. He needs time. You can't throw everything on his shoulders. It's not as if Raphinha is that much older, but he's more experienced. He's played in the Premier League, and I have a feeling he will kind of fit a team like Chelsea better than Barcelona. And he's not one of those players that has to play 90 minutes in every game. You know, he's quite often brought off the bench, and he has no problem with that. So, I mean, I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying in case people like Pulisic go. You know, there's not much to be done in terms of dealings. There will be some big ones. The issue of the striker, the issue of the goalkeeper, but they'll be working on it now. What this team needs now is to settle down, take their little break, come back, face pre-season. I think pre-season is huge. The new manager and his team need to settle in, draw up their plans for the new season. I reiterate, there needs to be Chelsea people there in that team. And we approach the season again from a more organized point position, which will do us much better than the beginning of this season, that's for sure.
Let's look at what Max what he has on the screen. I think we've looked at. Let me go back to that on the screen here. We had it on the screen where Atletico are considering they want Aubameyang and Marco Correa. And there's something I read. I think it was the Sun saying Aubameyang is keen to terminate his contract to join Barcelona. So if he's keen on doing that, I think they're not going to be able. The club are not going to be able to decide where he goes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's common sense. If he he himself decides he's forfeiting whatever he will earn and say, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. I want to terminate the contract. I think the club will welcome that, which means that counts him out of the players that Atletico want from us. Then we'll have just Cucurella. And I don't think he makes the whole thing I need for, again, to keep, not let me say the club's decision wanting to keep up João Felix. I don't think he makes any difference with just Cucurella alone. But go ahead.
Yeah, if he does, bye. You know, good, bye. The person that's going to be interesting is Cucurella. I can imagine Atletico wanting him. I really can, because Simone will like that sort of player. But then I believe so will Pochettino. Now, Cucurella is not a bad player. It's just he needs discipline. And his performances is reminiscent of the fact that there wasn't enough organization from the coaching. You know,
And from the midfield area, not
expecting-
protecting the defense enough.
Well, you know, he has to be instructed that. You know, you do that with Mourinho, he will absolutely scream at you until you ask for the ground to open up and swallow you up. You know, I think someone like Cucurella could possibly come good next season. This was his first season,
Mhm.
a chaotic season. I don't think he got much instruction from Potter, although Potter was his former manager. He was all
Mhm.
over the place, and he just needs somebody with more discipline. Is that Pochettino? I don't know. You know, we're expecting quite a lot from Pochettino. I hope he can deliver because he needs to deliver. So I don't know, you know, but I can see Atletico wanting him. Many people want him because a good manager will be confident they will know how to use him. Because he's an effective player. He's very effective. He's
If
very
Pep wants him,
mobile.
that tells you quite a lot. If Pep wanted him.
Yeah, I mean, he's very mobile.
Mhm.
He's fairly good on the ball on the ground. But you know, he needs to be disciplined. And if the manager is tough and instructs him clearly, I think he could be very good for us next season. I
So here's
really
where I agree
do.
with you again, Bobby. You did say something with regards to it's up to the new manager, and I
It
think,
is.
I think he stays.
I think he stays as well. You
Mhm.
know, a lot of these players that people want to throw away, these are very, very good players. You know, it's like Kai Havertz as well. You know, he if he's used correctly, you know, he's an asset in terms of the team. He fights for the team. He works with the team. He's mobile. He holds up play. There's so much that can come out of Kai Havertz.
Mhm.
So, you know, people are looking, to end the careers of players that are going to be very key to Chelsea going forward. Mason Mount is another one. The kind of people that will go, although it'll be quite difficult getting rid of Aspi now because Barca don't really have money. I don't even think they have the money for Aubameyang because they're
Mhm.
trying to get people off the wage bill. So I don't see him going there. I really don't. But you know him, um, uh, Hakeem Ziyech, Aspi, um, possibly Pulisic. One of either Ruben or or Gallagher. Neither of them really want to go, and neither of them do I want to see go. But there you go. And then a lot of players like Bakayoko, Ampadu,
Hudson Odoi.
yeah, Hudson Odoi. You know, they're the ones that the club can offload. You know, there are many players that can be offloaded without touching this core that we already have, but haven't been coached properly.
Mhm. Thank you. Let me catch up with the chat. I'll come back to you guys again. Max, thank you so much for finding the time to join us on the chat. Much respect to you, Bobby. Max, I appreciate you, brother. And hopefully you start doing live shows. And believe me, anytime I have time, I will be on your channel. I appreciate that. I will never forget how you helped. And please click the three dots to the right of Max's name. Go subscribe to his channel. Let him know I sent you. You will not regret that. Reports Napoli won a Pulisic and Chelsea are ready to do a swap deal plus money for Osimhen. Okay, let's see how that works. If Osimhen is, I think they will try to keep Osimhen, except if it's bent on leaving. Except if they feel like it's a business, it will be a good business for them. They'd move him on, and they're good at spotting talent. Napoli. So maybe if they've seen someone who they believe can effectively replace Osimhen and be as productive as Osimhen has been for them, they may well decide to sell him. Only way we're keeping buying Felix is if we sell Mount. Some argument. And Mount will be a good Simeone player, but you see a shock. I think we have something lined up there that we'll talk about in a bit. I think those two are connected. Really? Okay. Become a member and my bro, the Blue Ticket Game shares the link to if you want to become a channel member. It's just $2.99. It helps us support students every month. Plus, the channel will also benefit from it. But thank you so much for saying that. We don't need to talk about Alba anymore. It's clear he wouldn't be here. Let's just move on from him. Auerbach's attitude stinks when he's being treated like trash at Chelsea, and someone like Raphinha who's rejected Chelsea, but still a slender Lukaku. Some people, here's the thing, we see things differently. For me, I get it. I get Bobby's opinion. I totally understand him saying Auerbach is a bad player. I think Auerbach is a good player. It just didn't work out at Chelsea. The structure and how we approach the game. But that's by the way, let's move on from that. It's not even what us discussing it. Kukurea lacks athleticism. Wow. He's a role player who needs a protection from other players to move forward. Okay, some argument. Are we going to address the right wing back situation? I think we're fine there. As long as Rich James stays fit, as long as Melo goes to stays fit, I think we're fine there. You can say that. And I think we have a youngster out on loan. What's the name? Not Matson. Matson is on the left-hand side. Who am I forgotten, really, that plays that position also? 71 likes, yes, John. Sorry?
Dejan Sterling.
Dejan Sterling, I think he's good on the right-hand side. I think, yeah, that's the player I'm looking for. 71 likes, people. Let's keep the likes going up. It's 72 now. Let's see if we can get it to 100 because we'll round off to go watch the Champions League football. You cannot lack athleticism and play left centre back in a back three. Okay, you guys go ahead with the conversation there. He gets beat in space. Okay, let's see. If you haven't hit the like button, please keep hitting the like button. Thank you so much, John Hunt, for saying that. I appreciate that. Mount, Pulisic, Chilwell, and Havertz play out stinkers and are given a red carpet. So to walk on Sterling, Kukurea, and Ziyech are booed when they don't play well. Hypocritical at its finest. One thing I can agree with you, let's use the same energy for anybody that underperforms. But one thing is this, if we're being real, this is not a season where we should actually be isolating any player's performance. Yeah, we should just accept the whipping crap as a unit, as a whole. Kukurea barely loses a 1v1. I cannot say the same for Chilwell. I think we're not here to do that. This is there shouldn't be anything like core. If you aren't good enough, you aren't good enough. Selmont, Gallagher, Havertz, Kovacic, Cho Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Ampadu, Kepa moving forward. Here's the thing, I'm going to tell you this. If Carlo Hudson-Odoi accepts to take away the pay cut, I think the club will keep him. There's lots of the younger players will stay, actually. Given the way I've seen the new owners, what they're doing, I can say I've learned enough about them knowing they will push to keep lots of those young players. Coach, what would the panel think is a good season? You mean the coming season? I would say at least make it to top 4 and fight for the title because we don't have any European assignments, which means we have just the league and the two cup games. I think it's happened on occasions. It says without the European distraction. And that's why I'm happy we don't have even the Europa Cup and the European or the Conference Cup, but the Premier League and the domestic cup games. I think we have a chance, really. Here's the thing: if we leave the squad as it is right now, we still do well. But if we make a strategic signings, assign a traditional DM, sign a central attacking midfielder capable of creating clear-cut chances from central areas of the pitch and not just from the flanks and on the carpet, which is very predictable. I think we will fight for the title the coming season. And I'm serious about it. I'm not just kidding. And if we lose wingers, get new wingers in. That's one thing. Is anyone McGregor a Chelsea fan? We can have him yell, "You are the chosen one, Callum." Maybe that makes a change. I've changed my YouTube name from John Hunt to John. Okay. Thank you, John, for doing that. I appreciate that. I'm going to come to you, IBZ. The coming season, what will be a good season? Your take. What would be a good season for you, given that comment from the Bluetooth game? Okay, looks like IBC is busy. Kashan, if you're there, what would you...
Sorry, I'm still here.
Okay,
sorry, I was just spaced out. Coach,
okay.
What would the panel think is a good season?
Yeah, that's
season,
for
right?
23-24.
23-24?
Mm-hmm.
Anything's better than this season.
That's That's how bad it's gotten, right?
Without being like we're still having expectations, but without expecting and then getting disappointed. Still, I would if we were to get into Europe again, that is a win, win. Considering there are
Any of the
teams,
European competitions, such as Champions League, to be
Champions
precise.
League, yeah, Champions League to be precise. If we were getting back into the Champions League, that is a win. Yeah, anything above that will be seen to me as a bonus. Obviously, we know we ain't playing in Europe, but obviously that still does not give us the. I just want to make it clear: the fact that we're not playing in Europe doesn't give us an automatic pass to think that we're gonna win the league, we're gonna all of those good things, and no European distractions. That all sounds good. It gives us room to between games have rest periods, so we're ready for the next game. But that doesn't give us an automatic pass to think, because of this situation, we're going to steamroll.
We still got to work for it.
We still got exactly the point exactly you just raised. We still got to work for it, like every other 19 other Premier League teams will be working. So we will need to do that. That's a fact. Now,
why I'm still with you, IBC, just quickly. Are we good to go with the current squad, or do you think we need a few signings here and there?
No, we're not good to go with this current squad. We proved that this whole year. We are not good to go. So people need to leave, and every additions we need to come back. Maybe that's loan players coming back in. Maybe that's new signings. We go back into the market and spend X amount on this player. But new signings will need to come in, and new signings will need to leave. So next season, if we were to get to top 4 and anything above that, that'll be a win for me. I'm contented. I could use that as a stepping stone, as build that for the next season and the season after that. It's all about progression. I have to understand where we are right now is not where we want to be. So if we get to where we want to be, i.e. Champions League, yes, we want to win the league. We understand that there will be other teams hungry enough for it next season. If Arsenal miss out on the league this year, who knows, they'll be hungrier even more because they tasted what it feels like to be at the top of the, you know what I mean? So we can't.
If anything, they'll be even stronger.
Yeah, they'll be even stronger. So like, I don't want to be the guy to say, oh yeah, I want us to win the league. If we don't win the league, it's a failure. No, that'll be harsh on the manager and harsh on the players itself. I just want to see a healthy progression from where we are this year, and that to me will be attaining Champions League football. For me, yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, and I'm going to say quickly, IBC, before I go to Roger, I want to start with Roger because we want to go watch the Champions League so that if we don't have enough time, we'll still, everybody will have their say. But you still haven't sent me the brand of that microphone you're using. Otherwise, I'm going to come steal it.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm doing it right now.
But go ahead if you haven't dropped.
No, so I'm just, I've really, that's all really, just to say, just my expectations. Obviously, my expectations were very low considering the situation we found ourselves in, right? In terms of sanctions and the preseason. We were late to the party because in comparison to all our competitive rivals, we were just late. So my expectations had to be low. This season, I would imagine that it won't be the case. I would imagine that these people that we were lacking last summer are in place this summer, so that we can get the people we need in. So my expectations will rise off the back of that. So we're ready to prepare for the preseason properly, right? So the right players will come in, the right preparation will be done. And for quality of a team of stature of our size, I would expect us to go to where we need to be. And that's challenging and or getting into Europe. I'm not saying we wobble into Europe, no, but I would like us to just know that we're getting into Champions League. So top 4, my requirement. If we get there, happy days for me, 23-24.
Quickly, I'm going to go to Roger. Before I did that, it just the Bluetooth game says IBZ does sound like an MC at the jam. I cannot lie. Everybody likes the microphone, but it looks like it's an alien brand. He's refused to share the brand with me. So, big up, Roger. Pop, my bro. I hope you're doing well. We haven't seen you for a while. I hope everything is okay with you. I hope you're better. Being on the panel doesn't pay the bills, and we all have a responsibility to deal with. But nice to have you whenever time allows. You see the question on the screen. What will be a good season for you? Although we still have other topics, I think we should be able to catch up. We have about 20 minutes more. So, but Roger, what would be a good season for you, the 23-24 season? And do you think we're able to do that if we don't make any signings, or do you think we're good to go?
Hola, señor.
Why did you start with Spanish?
Hey, Bobby.
I was
Hey.
going to do that, but go ahead.
Hey, Barry White. How are you, buddy? Man, that's a bloody good mic. Yeah, good season, not getting relegated. Just kidding. I would say, honestly, I completely agree with IBZ. Top four, and hopefully at least a cup final, like a league or an FA Cup. It'd be great to win one, I think that would be definitely, realistically, a good season. It all depends, I think, on the outgoings more than the incomings. I really believe that. It depends on the stability and the size of our squad. We cannot. I understand that we can't sell players for ridiculously low prices also. However, I believe the stability of the squad and continuity is very important. We're assuming that Pochettino is going to be our new coach. It still sounds quite foreign to say that, and I'm not really comfortable saying it, but it is what it is. Are we? Here's the other thing. If let's say I'm assuming it's going to be Pochettino, you got players like Cucurella who have been quite disappointing this year. He could excel. Some players, depending on the system or the coaching style. And when I say Pochettino, I'm talking about his assistants also. They're even just as important, if not more so, based on positional coaching. So you could have like a Pulisic come out and be a stellar star for us. You don't know. So it all depends. And conversely speaking, we could have some what we perceive as good players completely underperform under him. We don't know. But
Rudiger being a prime example, all for under Frank Lampard, but our best player under Thomas Tuchel. Go ahead.
I was about to mention Rudiger is exactly.
So I did a tapping on you.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but it's the truth though. I mean, look at under Frank, he was abject. He was actually in the back burner. But look under Tuchel, he's I would classify him as a world-class centre back. So and because of that, and because of the fact that we have some serious youth. Listen, Silva will shine in anyone, with the exception of me coaching him. He will shine under any good coach. He is, class is permanent, right? Form is temporary. So you have someone like him and Kante, they're always going to excel, period. And if we can stay relatively healthy, and depending on how soon he can implement his style, his philosophy going forward and defensively, how soon they can pick it up, and depends on the off season. That's so important. And if we can avoid injuries or at least being decimated like this year, I think this team has a lot of upside. That doesn't necessarily translate into automatic success, however. We can play very well but still lose games. But
it's not a given.
No, it's not. But this team has. Listen, we also have Broja returning, and I like Broja, even though we've seen such a small amount sampling size. You look at Kane under Poch, and now you look at Broja. I'm not putting it. I don't mean to put him in the same category, but stylistically, you don't know. And then Nkunku comes. We're probably one, if not two, players away from being serious contenders. But, top four, I'd be happy with the top four. And then the season after next, then pushing for it. But listen, I didn't, under Conte, I didn't expect us to win the league, so that year. So, having a year off, we cannot be above 9th place this season. So we are guaranteed not to play in Europe next year. So this is what you wanted. And, it is an advantage in that regard for a new coach to come in. So let's see what transpires. You have to be realistically optimistic logically. And listen, this squad has a lot of upside, and let's see where it takes us.
Yep. Let me finally IBC sent me the brand the brand of the microphone.
You mean
Oh,
Barry
man,
White?
I like it because it sounds good. It's just balanced. You don't need to use what's it called, a mixer to set everything there. So I like it really. The wireless one is good, but I don't think it's the production is balanced. I'm gonna come to Bobby to let us know what he thinks we'll finish it. We're gonna finish next season, but we're gonna be quick because I really do not want to miss a minute of the game that starts very soon. This says I've read that one. And John Hand, thank you so much for saying that, John. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's get it to 80 soon. We're at 74 likes. We can do that. You think we can challenge for title next season with strategic signings? A signing of, for instance, I've mentioned a central attacking midfielders are capable of producing double digits in terms of chances created from the central area, so that we can diversify our chance creations and not just create from the flanks only and on the carpet mainly, which is very well, very, very predictable. Diversify, then we'll be unpredictable. And believe me, we'll get more goals. With this current team and Poch, it's very possible. Constantin Dante. Let's see what else we have here. These are same players. We're calling the core. The same players are making us a fight in relegation. We need to move away from sentiment and embrace a competence moving forward. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean every player has to go. I think some of them will still stay. Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Should I just call it S? And your avatar is seriously creepy. But big up to you too. I think I know the movie, but I can't remember that character. But big up to you, brother. Coach, you have the blue glasses on. I think it's an adaptive glasses. If I'm reading my books, it changes to adapt to something close. But this is from the computer screen. I think it causes strains on my eye, so that was why I had to get this. I do have that. I cannot see with that dimmed light. I think I can see everything. Oh, you cannot see my eyes. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's adaptive, so it's just become darker to protect my eyes. More importantly. Where am I? Did I miss where I am? I think I went further forward too much. Let's see. What else we have here? IPC just sound like an MC at the jam. I cannot lie. The sound is delicious. Really, I like that. I do not think that we need this man. He said that he loved the Gunners. Let him go there. What man? What man in particular, Lincoln? Can you be specific? Sorry for the cough, people. Apologies. This says my Dina is here. Thanks for the stream, gents. Enjoy the game. See you all next time. Much love to you, my bro. I appreciate you finding time to join us today. We are ungrateful to our core players, guys, like RLC cover our core players. If I happen to be one of the decision makers, I'll keep rubbing loves to stick. But that's me. Coach, I am listening to Radio Chelsea Perspective. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're talking with regards to the microphone quality. It's just excellent. When do I get to the chance to become a mod on the community? Not my YouTube channel anymore. It's grown past that. I think it has a process, and you're getting there, John. I trust you, but you're getting there. Let's see. 1 trophy plus top 4 with Arsenal and Sports finishing below us. It's a very good season. You can say that. Let me see that. Read that again. 1 trophy plus top 4 with Arsenal finishing below us. It's a very good season. I think that's perfect. We can all look back and say we're back and ask them whether they think they finish above us again the coming season. It's that time of the year, Jerry Z, my bro. Big up. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. 74 likes, people. Let's keep it going. Maybe we can get to 100 by the time the show ends. Rudy was not off on the Frank. He didn't just play, but I think he struggled then. If we're being honest, even he did say openly that he was whatever people thought he was then. He was in bad form, and Frank didn't help. Maybe that's where we come together and agree. He was still our best defender. Just Lamps did not like him for some reason. I'm not sure why that was. Keep smashing the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go a long way. Roger being realistic that we finished top 4 and win a cup on what evidence? We don't need evidence. That is just us, what we feel is going to happen. Roger, I don't think those guys and Dante have joined the gang of people that likes to attack Roger. Let's see what else we have.
Coach,
Yeah.
how much you paying them?
So you think I'm sponsoring them, right?
I'm just kidding, Coach.
Yeah, John says, let's get millions of likes. Let's get the likes up, people. And my bro, the Blue Tiffle Game shares the link or become a member. Hello to you too, Chama. Bobby, if you're there quickly, I want to get your thought, and I'll go to Keshan. We don't have too much time, but I want to get your thought on that particular comment in particular. What will be a good season for you the coming season? And do you think we need to make any signings? Do you think we're good to go? Even if we don't sign any player, we're capable of winning something next season. But your thoughts, what would be a good season for you the coming season?
We
Hello,
definitely
Bobby.
need that CDM. Hi, Roger. Hi, guys. We definitely need that CDM. We need a striker. We need a goalkeeper. I don't want to hear anything about the Premier League. We're not a settled team. We're going up against teams that will be settled a season ahead of us. Arsenal just that little bit further settled. Newcastle, Liverpool, all of them. So we don't even know what the character of our team looks like. So talking about winning the league, I know, is just ridiculous. If we can manage to get into top 4, which is possible, I think that will be a remarkable season, and I'll leave it at that.
Well put.
He said we need a goalkeeper. I was going to ask him for his ID if he didn't say that. Roger, you knew your man, your brother was going to mention a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I was fretting that. But Bobby, can I just say something though? Listen.
Yeah.
If we have a well-structured defense, a healthy defense with a good sitting midfielder, defensive midfielder that can protect that defensive line, and we gel. And let's say Kepa is our keeper and he's in form as he has been this season, you will see a far reduced goal concession rate, in my opinion. Because
yes, I mean we don't concede many goals now. But the fact is, if we want to be that team, he's not good enough. If we want to get to where we want to be, we have to do it with a better goalkeeper. It's just that simple. I don't dislike Kepa.
I know
He's good for the team. He brings good team spirit, but he's not good enough to be Chelsea #1 for the kind of club we want to be. Look, we don't concede many goals even now.
I agree. I didn't know what we're talking about. I heard Kepa, just think I agree.
A proper keeper who comes out to collect crosses and dominates his box. Gosh, would be even better.
That's my only criticism of him constructively, is that he doesn't dominate his box aerially speaking. Other than that, his distribution, I would say, is top notch. His distribution.
You can't take that away from him.
Yeah, also, he plays sweeper keeper with very little errors. He's off his line. He reads the play so well.
Yeah.
He's bailed us
Go ahead,
out.
Roger. Sorry.
He's bailed us out so many times in how he's come off his line. His reflexes are sublime. He's down to most balls. Yes, the top corners are a disadvantage to him based on his lack of wingspan. Other than that, I would say with that one deficiency in his aerial dominance, lack thereof, I would say he has the ability, just like De Gea did when he came into this league, to be a dominant keeper. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Yeah, I understand. And if we're going to look for a replacement, it's not Onana. Kepa statistics show he's way better than Onana. Kishon, let me just pronounce it like Roger. Kishon, if you're there, your thoughts are, where do you think we'll finish in the coming season? Do you think we need a few more signs? Do you think we're good to go? If you're not there, I'm just going to go ahead and keep getting what we have in the chat. So we'll look at the final items we have lined up. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
there.
here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Where do you think we'd finish? Do you
All
think
right.
we need a few more signings, or do you think we're good to go?
Yeah, we definitely need some more signings. Definitely need a DM. We have to get a DM. Definitely need a striker. We need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm gonna
Yeah.
flip out if we have another season of just nothing.
Here's
But
where quickly. Here's where I think we're gonna have a problem is that people, if you're calling for striker, be mindful of the sort of striker you're asking that we sign, because we had the same issue. We created tons of chances, and we didn't put most of them away under Thomas Tuchel. And then some people think we need a single individual to put the ball in the back of the net. And that was why we had so much expectations with the signing of Lukaku, forgetting that the chances we missed were missed by multiple individuals, not a single individual. And which means if you sign Lukaku, in this case, a traditional striker, which means we're preparing whenever he's on the pitch, either subconsciously or by design. Every time we get to the final third, we try to channel our goal scoring opportunity through him. So I think we should be saying we need to mix up our attack with somebody who's capable of putting away the chances and not get a single individual to be. But just go ahead, Kashana. I know you get my point, brother.
yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, we need someone up front that's somewhat of a goal threat, because for some reason no one up front is a goal threat, and it's just every game it's the same thing. All right, and goalkeeper, yeah, Kepa, he's not it for this club. I'm sorry. I think like it's so easy for his confidence to get shot. Like one mistake, his confidence is out. He's playing terrible the rest of the game. Like I can't trust Kepa. I need someone who's confident in their abilities. Confident.
Let's leave them. Let's not just start a war. I know 3 of them against us on the panel that wants to
I echo that. You know what it is? It's just that
I think I don't know. Go ahead, Kashan. We'll let you drop.
Yeah, you need someone that's confident during those set pieces that can actually punch the ball away and not. I don't know. Sometimes it's like this kid, like he just has no strength. I don't know. He's just not strong.
But Onana isn't the replacement.
Onana, I mean,
How about our defensive players actually not get beaten aerially also on set pieces?
yeah, that too. But it doesn't.
And
It
by the
doesn't
way,
make me feel any better having Kepa in goal.
No, I concede that. Conversely speaking, those stats are borne out when we're actually trying to score aerially from set pieces like corners going forward. You can see that lack of aerial dominance defensively and offensively also. So I'm not. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Right, we all have good points. I don't know if you had you wanted to add something with the goalkeeper debate. Just 1 minute, so I can
all
catch
that has
up.
been said. All that has been said is said. Just saying, yo, we need to move. Kepa's like, he is the unfortunate. He is part of our problem since the ending of the World Cup in Brazil. Unfortunately, he is part of the reason why we haven't challenged for a trophy or a Premier League. He's been part of the reason why, not only him, but he's been part of the reason. And that has just got to go. And since he's come, the only major trophy we've won is the Champions League. And he wasn't in the starting lineup for that trophy. My bro, thank you. You've done your time. It's time to go. But me personally, I don't think there's someone in that can come and afford his wages. So the unfortunate thing I have in my mind is that we got this guy till 2025 when his contract expires. That's the seething thing that's rooted at the back of my mind. Yeah. We want him gone. I want him gone now. But who is going to afford his wages? And if we can't offload him, maybe a loan. But albeit, if he doesn't go, we still got this guy till 2025. So that's my fear. So I want us to get a replacement. I want us to get a goalkeeper. If that means Mendy goes, so someone comes in, or even Mendy stays, I won't even mind. But that's another discussion. But
just remember though, when you have a keeper that can't, when you pass back and he has to kick it long, or when there's errors that lead to goals because of his technical inability with his feet, or even distribution. You know, we've experienced those days. Just you take it for granted how good he is on the ball. Because these keepers are the modern keepers, I should say, are so different compared to my time. And you look at the top keepers in the Premier League this season, and most seasons, they all make massive mistakes. De Gea, Liverpool's, City's, they've all had serious faux pas that have led to goals conceding.
I understand that.
And you haven't seen that from Kepa this year. He's been quite consistent.
I understand that.
Yes, in
I
IBC.
get that,
Let's
Kepa, it's not a decision. It's not something I wanted to gone today or this season. I wanted them gone yesterday,
that's
2
fair,
days
that's
ago.
fair.
You know, I wanted
And
them
like
gone,
you said, in your opinion, right?
Yeah.
Of
I wanted
course,
them
of course.
gone whilst he was still under Sarri. Like, Lampard, he didn't do any favors for Lampard. You know, when he come in, he's conceding just dumb goals in which you had to bring in Edouard Mendy. So please just go.
Yes.
That's
Then
all. No beef, no nothing. I thank you for your services, but bro, you've done your time, man.
And I'm gonna say this, and we'll move on to that. Catch up with what they have in the chat, and look at the remaining items we have lined up. I think you could argue, whether you like him or not, you could say we could have been worse off if it wasn't for his brilliance between the sticks for us. That's my opinion, and I think if you look at the numbers, also, I think you'd agree with that. Hello to you too, Chum. I hope you're doing well. You just came to drop a like on the stream. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. 79 likes. Let's get it to at least 80 before we round up. I don't like to attack Roger, but he said that's realistic. How is that realistic? Is that you saying sorry to Roger? I know, we're all kidding. I know you were not attacking him. I just want to get you into trouble. But that's, by the way, I don't expect anything based on how this season has panned out. A top 6 finish under the new manager will be fine. I want us to be into the top 4. Yep. Which one is this? Okay, this is to become a member of the channel. I click through that link shared by my brother, the Blue Tiffle Game. 78 likes. Please keep the likes coming, people. Let's get it to at least 80. We'll be rounding up soon because we have to go watch the Champions League football. Please don't waste $1 on a player that didn't want to come to Chelsea. Don't buy Raphinha. I think I feel the same too. Or even think about this guy. Come on, you Blues. I think I feel the same. He disrespected us. He never wanted us. But like I said, I think there's no context to that, substance to that rumor. It may well be his agent, Deco, pushing that narrative to see if we're still interested, given the fact that we put in a bid, and even as he was bent on, it was clear that he was bent on joining Barcelona. We still didn't pull out. We waited until the last minute. I think we shouldn't go for him, but we're shameless. That's the chance we still go for him. We need somebody like Raphinha. I'm not sure we need him. What? Roger, did you read that from that brother?
I don't. Me no English.
No. But I like it. That's why this show is awesome. Chevron Givens, you're confusing me, brother. I'm not sure what to make of your comment. Please cast your vote on the poll. Let me look at it quickly before I continue to get what we have in the chat. We'll round off in a bit. I want us not to miss the game. Where do you think Chelsea will finish next season? 50% say the first place, 20% say second place, 10% says third place, and sixth place by 20%. Wow, a lot more people trust we're going to do well, but it's just 10 votes, and we need a lot more sample to conclude, okay, what the majority wants. Arsenal finished the second in 2005 and then disappeared. I'm expecting the same. Wow, that's brutal. That's seriously brutal. And I need a new haircut. Okay, go to the salon. Gameso, big up, much love to you. Go get a new haircut, but I get it, you're joking. If we don't get rid of 10 players and don't get a striker, DM, we have no chance of top 4. I think we still need an attacking midfielder, central attacking midfielder. Question for the panel: how many players do you think have the potential to become world class at Chelsea right now? Let me just name a few. Enzo is one, Mudryk is one, Madrid is one. All the potentials, as long as they're not done, the potential is still there, if you get my point. But let's move on from that one. We have a great keeper in Mendy. already and great youth. We don't need to buy Onana or any keeper unless Kepa and Mendy leave, of course. Yeah, here's the thing. Kepa, if he ends up leaving, as much as many people thinks he should leave, it will be down to his salary. Him not agreeing into salary reduction. To tell you how things have turned again, how badly things how things have changed for Mendy. Even Lampard, I was thinking that he's going to find the slightest of excuses to drop Kepa and start playing Mendy. That hasn't happened. But Mendy, if he can look himself in the mirror and realize, where his problems lie, I think he'll become better. He's taller. Overall, for me, he's well equipped to do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga. And one thing I have to say with regards to Mendy is that I don't think he cannot, as much as I think he cannot measure Kepa Arrizabalaga with regards to his ability on the ball. I still think people don't give him enough credit with regards to how good he is on the ball. Really, I think he's considerably good. There are people who are worse than him. That have done better.
I agree.
What we need is a Mendy Kepa splice. Mendy's hands and Kepa's feet with Neuer's brain. That's a mashup of three goalkeepers there. I think I'll take it. Neuer's intelligence as goalkeeper, I think, is something special. Manuel Neuer, but he's been out for how long right now? Thanks, Ederson, for the Champions League. You could say that. Rogers Shaw, the defense didn't protect Mendy when he was having bad run. In the case of Mendy, I think the errors he was making then weren't something you could look at and say it was down to the defense not protecting him well. Okay, thank you for coming back, TPS. I appreciate that. Raphinha was about to sign for Chelsea last summer, but he went to Barcelona, so let him keep him. That's how I see it. Pochettino is here we go. You joking? Anybody else on Twitter seen anything? Let me see. Where's Fabrizio Romano? Let's see if he said anything with regards to that. But I really want us to catch up with what we have lined up and then call it a day. Let's see. Let's go to them. Let's go here. Roger, if you want to come in anytime because you joined late, that's fine. This one here, talks have resumed between the Mason Mount and Chelsea over a new contract. There's no indication yet of anything changing. This is oxymoron, really. Do you understand what I mean? I don't think there's anything new. I think this is just somebody knowing that it will get some clicks. Who's Bobby Vincent? I don't know him. I don't believe that, really. But Roger, if you want to come in anytime because you joined late, that's fine.
I just want to say one thing. We need to be careful, as Bobby has said over the last few weeks, that if you look at if we want to be an elite team, you look at like a Bayern Munich, as Bobby gave an example of a few weeks ago. The players that were coming off the bench, it was like phenomenal. It's like there are certain players that we need. We can't just have a wholesale, sell.
No, we can't.
We need depth. I think this year's lack of health has proven that. And so I don't think we need to be selling 10, 15 players. There are players out on loan. There's over 20 of them. Yes, I get that. But I'm talking about collectively the 34 or so players on our squad. Bobby's correct. Be careful what you wish for. We can't just be wholesale cutting everybody. It's that simple.
Yeah, it is. And if it weren't for the size of our squad, at the time where we had a community of injured players or village of injured players, if you want to phrase it like that, I think it would have been a much worse situation right now. But I think they're well aware of that. But it's still that we still have too many players. And I'm asking, if we're going to have squad depth, let's have quality on the bench. Not when the starting player gets injured, whoever comes on, then will become crap. Let me catch up quickly. We have the match starts in 5 minutes. Chelsea's decision to offer Mauricio Pochettino the permanent head coach job could help get N'Golo Kante's proposed contract renewal over the line. Sources have told the Telegraph Sport that the Argentine and Kante share a mutual appreciation for one another. To me, this is nothing really. If Kante wants to move on, he's not going to decide to stay because Pochettino is coming. I get it. He wanted him when he was the PSG manager. But this, to me, is not something I should line up for us to discuss here. Mauricio Pochettino ideally wants to add players with Premier League experience pedigree to the Chelsea squad. It looks like he's not coming to joke, Roger. He's coming to win. If we're paying attention for him asking for experienced players and players with Premier League experience, I think he's coming to win. Incoming head coach. Wow, that's okay. Calling him incoming head coach. Mauricio Pochettino is targeting a new spine of his team this summer. He has identified a new goalkeeper, a central midfielder, and a number 9 as the 3 positions he would ideally look to strengthen. He also wants a long-term central midfielder partner for Enzo Fernandez. Record signing. Yep. I think those are the areas where actually we think we've always thought the club were going to move to bring in players. Not everywhere. And this is Mauricio Pochettino pinpoints 5 Chelsea stars to build the team around after agreeing deal. So he's agreed the deal. Okay. Pochettino wants to rebuild Chelsea from the back and sees N'Golo Kante as pivotal to providing the protection he needs in front of the back 4. Roger, it looks like he's on our side. You and I, just you and I alone. Because we've been clamoring how lack of protection for the defensive line from the 2-6s. We've always said that. Young defenders, Benoit Badiashile and Liver Cowell are also safe, along with fullbacks Reece James and Ben Chilwell and Melo Gusto. Roger, anything else you want to say before we call it a day, brother?
No, just it's good to listen to everyone's opinions, and always a pleasure to be on with everyone here.
And I hope you're strong, brother. I know it's not easy for everybody, and thank you. Always nice to have you. With that, people, we've come to the end of the show. I want to say thank you to IBZ,
big up, everyone. Big up.
Very
Bobby,
white.
and Roger. You know, IBZ, the MC, at the Jam Where Beautiful Game is that. Constantin Dante, take care, bro. And the Chelsea TPS, take care, my brother. Chelsea all the way, much love. The Blue Beautiful Game, much love to you. Kimso, much love. John Hand, much love to you. Chevron, much love. And much love to everyone that's in the chat. With that, we've come to the end of the show. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Cheers.